Welcome to the DEC4 podcast. You can access episodes, companion articles, research notes and links, as well as information about our contributors and supporters at dec4podcast.com. Hope you enjoy the program. We were talking about producers, and Ian Cullen, I was interested to see your interview with him that's on YouTube, talking about his demise from Z-Cars, and once again, it was the arbitrary decision of the producer that ended him after quite a few years. How many years had he done? Was it 6 years that he had done in Z-Cars or thereabouts?
Said producer actually rang him when he was drunk. Rang him in the middle of the night to tell him that.
Oh, really?
Well, Ian had, Ian really could have directed Z-Cars. He'd written an episode under a pseudonym. Ian was such a smart, clever guy and a brilliant actor. He was the full package, and he's great in the bill. He did an episode called Hit and Miss where he's the main guest character, and he gets the drums, a close up on the drums, which is quite rare for a guest actor to get. So he's really, really good in it. And again, just sort of like had the wrong agent for years. He had an agent later on who would actually tell people he was unavailable when he was available.
Wow, that's
which he would learn from direct approaches, but he still stayed with that agent out of this misplaced loyalty. Or Bernard Holly used to say there was an expression, it's like swapping agents in your 60s is like swapping deck chairs on the Titanic.
Oh, look, you just sort of think, what, all of the missed opportunities, what might have been in terms of, great roles, and it's just too awful to think about, really, isn't it? We had Z-Cars in the 60s and 70s. By the time, perhaps a more naive audience, by the time we get to the bill, we're heading towards the mid-1980s. Margaret Thatcher in power. Britain was different. Post-Falklands, the miners' strike, 3.5 million people out of work, the Scarman report after Brixton. There'd been a documentary about Thames Valley Police in the early 80s that you might remember that caused a huge uproar about the treatment by a male detective of a female sexual assault victim, which actually led to some reforms. I'm just wondering how you think the audience might have changed, say, between Z-Cars and the bill.
Z-Cars had replaced what Dixon or Doc Green had been, and then the Sweeney replaced what Z-Cars had been, and the Sweeney was a huge shot on the arm, really, for the kind of action-packed the flying squad sort of thing, which is interesting that is Barry Appleton's background, who was the first technical advisor on the bill and Wooden Top and wrote so many of the early episodes. Yet I know that Thames Valley Police documentary was a huge influence on Peter Cregeen. I know that Jeff McQueen got the idea whilst working as a decorator in a police station. That is where the bill was effectively born, was Jeff working in a police station, decorating the office, and just thinking, well, this would be interesting to open the doors of a police station and see what happened. As I then found out with witness statements that, it was Barry who said, I hope one of these titles fits the bill, as a bit of an in-joke. I mean, John Salthouse recalls when he was researching for the role, being out in a police car which had either a fridge or an oven thrown off a balcony at the police car, or rather that had happened up to the patrol the previous week, which of course would later happen to Dashwood. So I think at the time they were just taking all these little bits of ammunition.
Podcast terms and conditions can be found at our website, dec4podcast.com. You can contact us there or on our social media. Find us on the major podcasting platforms, and we're also on Substack, Facebook, Tumblr and Instagram. This has been George Fairbrother. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Steve Collins from the YouTube channel Please Tell Me Where to Go. We have great travel videos and other stuff as well, so go to YouTube. Please tell me where to go. The 2 is the numeral 2, and enjoy a whole bunch of videos.